Thank you for having me here. I'm immensely grateful for this honor and the very gracious introduction given by Professor Pal Ahluwalia. And I thank the Oz Festival as well as the University of South Australia that they have invited me here and given me this opportunity to share my thoughts with you. I hope you can fathom my Bengali accent. I will try to speak as slowly as I can. That is what I have been advised to do. I begin with 3 snippets from a large study we did on genocide that accompanied the birth of India and Pakistan 60 years ago. We are doing a very large study over the last decade. And we have had collaboration from Pakistani and Bangladeshi scholars too. The first one involves the interview with an elderly woman by a Pakistani scholar, a friend of mine. The interviewer asked this elderly lady if the Hindu caste system, with its ornate ideas of purity and pollution, did not distance the South Asian Muslims from the Hindus. The woman said no and went on with her narrative. Now, the interviewer wanted to be doubly sure and after a while asked the same question again. And the lady said, "Why are you asking this question to me again? Why should caste rules on purity and pollution offend us? A Hindu does not eat with most Hindus in any case, what to speak of Muslims." My second snippet is a story of a refugee from East Pakistan running away to India, and before fleeing, one of his Muslim friends invited him to come to his village home for one last time. There he met his friend's father, who in turn was a friend of this Hindu refugee's father. And it was a palatial house, and he went in, welcoming his son's friend. He said to him that you have 2 options. I know your caste customs, so I shall either provide you with a Hindu cook to cook your food, or I shall supply you with the ingredients, rice, fish, and pulses, and you can cook yourself. He chose the second option. But he did not actually cook. He and his Muslim friend convinced that Muslim friend's mother to cook for them. And they were having a nice time, but accidentally, the Muslim boy's father chanced upon them one day when they were all eating together. And he was furious. He was angry with his wife for cooking for them. He was angry with the 2 friends. And he said, he was almost speechless in anger. He said ultimately that, "What will I say to your father?" The Hindu boy's father had died, the one who was the friend of the Muslim boy's father. He said, "What will I tell your father when I meet him and he asks me about you? That I have ruined your caste? I have helped you lose your caste?" He was so perturbed that he ultimately went to a Muslim peer to make an offering as an expiation for the sin that his son and wife had committed. Now, as opposed to this, there is the story of others who do feel that Hindu concepts of touchability and untouchability, purity and pollution was one of the main factors behind the division of British India. Amongst them are well-known scholars, but at the moment I am bypassing the world of scholarship. I am going to tell you about one particular family which was a victim of partition, a Sikh family, and tell you their version of the same thing. This is a story of Bir Bahadur Singh, one of the best-known victims of partition violence. His family, once facing Muslim mobs and fearing that they won't be able to protect the honor of the women, killed their women. Bir Bahadur's father, in a Gurudwara, beheaded 22 persons, including 20 women, 2 elderly men who also volunteered to be killed because they said they wouldn't be able to fight. And 20 women he slaughtered one by one. He began with his own daughters. And Bir Bahadur's story of that episode, the heroic acts of the Sikh resisting dishonor when facing defeat by Muslim mobs, has become a kind of a saga which he now recites ritually every year on Sikh religious festivals in a Gurudwara at Delhi. He is very well known in Delhi because of that. Now, Bir Bahadur believes that his family's observance of caste taboos and not eating with the Muslims was a shameful act, though he is very proud of his father and the sacrifices his family had made. But he was very clear that that particular practice of untouchability and belief in impurity of the Muslims was an evil act. And he says so in no uncertain terms, though otherwise he is a bit of a Muslim better. Indeed, Bir Bahadur, subsequently in his bitterness, has joined the Hindu Nationalist Party, BJP. He is a local functionary of the party and also led a small band of Sikhs in the demolition of the Babri Mosque at Ajodhya.